Welcome back, guys. So today I want to talk about anxiety symptoms, how fast they can occur, and the chain reaction that can happen sometimes, and how fast that chain reaction can occur. It still blows my mind to this day to think about how fast I would have one symptom or sensation, and I would almost instantly feel like 6 or 7 other things. It really messed with my acceptance, and that doesn't help when you have health anxiety. I just couldn't believe that anxiety was doing this. And this would happen, obviously if I was reading an article about something, somebody passing away, or reading an article about symptoms of a certain disease, doing my Googling, right? Or hearing a story about somebody, or seeing something on a movie, a scene of maybe somebody having a heart attack or dying, and it would trigger me. So it would happen in those situations for sure. But sometimes, guys, I'm talking about I could just be having a good day, a decent day anyways, maybe not feeling overly anxious, and I could just be walking and I would feel a little sensation or something because I'm still in a sensitive state. So even when we're having good days, when we're still not fully out of this, you got to remember, like, the body and the mind, you're still hypersensitive. Hypersensitivity, in my opinion, it doesn't go away within like a day or two. I think it takes time to kind of fade, and we have to be patient with that process. That's also why recovery is so hard, because some of us get so close and then we're still sensitive, and then we'll have a symptom and then we go down that, that dark path again, and it's like it resets or something. But anyways, like, I could be having a good day and just walking down the street, and then, I'd feel like a little sensation. Maybe I feel something weird in my chest, or I feel like a flutter or something like that. Almost instantly, I would have like a hot flash. My heart would take off. My chest would get tight. My breathing would be shallow. I would get dizzy. I would have some numbness and tingling. Like, that would happen so fast in my fingers and hands. So what do you think I'm going to think in that moment? Especially coming from a health anxiety sufferer. Instantly I'd be like, oh my God, this is a heart attack. It's hitting fast. You know what I mean? Because sometimes we have those symptoms, like, they'll gradually happen. We can kind of like put 2 and 2 together and realize, okay, maybe this is probably anxiety, or, we're in an obvious situation that triggers us at work or in the car or something like that. It makes it a little bit easier to accept. But when things are going decently okay for once, and you're doing all right, and you have a symptom and 7 others come out to play as well, it is so hard in that moment to talk yourself down, or to work on acceptance. It's possible. Eventually that's what you're going to have to be able to do to recover. And I was able to eventually do that. But it is so hard in those moments to be rational and to work yourself through it, to talk yourself down. But it would happen so fast. Like, I couldn't believe how fast it could happen, from feeling a little tiny sensation to immediately palpitations. Everything would like tighten up. My stomach would feel uneasy. I'd feel dizzy, lightheaded. My breathing would be shallow. And sometimes, guys, I would even have beads of sweat on my head that fast. This really happened with all those symptoms whenever I was having heart anxiety, but it would happen so quickly. It just made it unreal. And then, guys, like, it would also happen, like, I'd have these sympathy symptoms, and they would happen very, very quickly. If I was reading an article about somebody having cancer, whatever type of cancer they had, I'd start to feel it. Like, if they died from colon cancer, my stomach would start to hurt while I was reading it. I would feel sick to my stomach. If I was reading about somebody having a heart attack, like, this happened all the time. If I heard somebody had a heart attack, or somebody died from a heart attack, guys, it was hard for me even to see the word heart. Heart. It would make my heart start beating faster. That's how bad it was. Triggering words for me was seeing blood pressure, heart attack, heart rate. Any of those things right there, like, would make my heart beat faster if I heard them or read them. I've told this story. I'll keep it short, but I was a general manager of a sporting goods store, and somebody was needing some time off because her dad had a heart attack. So he was explaining to me how it all happened. He was like, I don't understand how it happened to him. He's the most fit person I know. He's amazing at basketball. He's only in his 40s, and then now he has to have major heart surgery. The whole time he was talking to me, my chest was tightening up. Guys, I had to get my assistant to take over, and I had to go to the ER, and they had to hook me up and do all these tests. And it happened that fast while he was speaking to me. went into full panic. I read an article about MS one time. I mean, this would happen with, I'm just giving you some specific examples so you feel less alone with this. It's kind of crazy. But I remember reading an article about MS, and it was like 10 symptoms of MS, because I remember I was like having some twitching or something like that, and I was a crazy Googler and researcher. So I remember reading an article about MS, and I'm telling you, by the time I got down to the bottom of the article, I had like 6 or 7 of the symptoms. I was twitching, I had tingling, I had numbness, my legs felt weak. You know, it's crazy how fast that happens. I would have sympathy symptoms when I say sympathy symptoms, it's almost like I'm talking about, like, I don't know if you've ever heard of sympathy symptoms whenever it comes down to like pregnancy. Like if a woman is pregnant, then the man that lives with her is going to start eating more and put on some extra weight and can feel some of these other things. So that's kind of like what I'm referring to. It's like I'm having sympathy symptoms for the person that died of this disease, or the person having a heart attack in this movie or whatever. So hearing stories, reading articles, seeing things in movies, hearing something on the radio, you know, that I would have sympathy symptoms or anxiety symptoms very, very quickly within a few seconds of hearing something or reading something. So yeah, it would happen either randomly where I'd feel a sensation and bam, I'd have 7 other symptoms to deal with, or it was from reading stories or hearing something. So if you deal with that, you're not alone. If you want more help with your recovery process, I did beat health anxiety, panic disorder, and generalized anxiety disorder. It took me 5 years to get out of that dark place, but I wasn't really doing a lot of the right things that I did towards the end. But I was able to put it all together, a routine, a strategy. I was able to build my foundation, and I was able to be consistent. And finally, I was able to let go of control. But if you want a step-by-step process on how I did that, I got a really great affordable course down below in the description and the first pinned comment. It's called ELITE Anxiety Bootcamp. It's going to take you throughout that whole process, close to 100 videos, a bunch of downloadables to help you along the way, you know, a very detailed routine, a diet cheat sheet, my ebooks on there, explaining certain anxiety symptoms that are very common that you probably experience, affirmations, a journal entry that you can start using, a lot of great stuff on there. So check that out. Also, if you're interested in coaching, I offer that as well. You can email me and I'll send you my information. Please like this video if you got value, subscribe if you're new, and until next time, guys, keep fighting. I love you all.